All right, Apush, here we go. This is my little lesson this week on the DBQ. I'm going to use a PowerPoint here, so let me get it going. What I found is I have subtitles turned on for the PowerPoint, and I cannot figure out how to turn them off. So we're going to see. Ooh, maybe I did it. Here's hoping. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to run through a PowerPoint here on how I want us to approach the DBQ for this week, and then I'll look for feedback from you, see what you think. But basically, talking with some other teachers, well, observing what other teachers are saying, participating a bit in the group that we're in, and going back to that video I had about Sushi Go. Like, you got to know the rules. If you know the rules, you win the game. Like, whoever knows the rules best will win the game. So that's what we're going to do here. And several teachers have been looking at this new rubric and kind of what's the most efficient, best way to approach it. And that's what we're going to do here. So this PowerPoint I ripped from another guy who shared it in the group. It says JB's DBQ advice, which obviously this shows James Brown here, which, interesting side story. My wife and I, at our wedding, we were supposed to complete the wedding, and when they turn and say, hey, we now present you Mr. and Mrs. Anderson, boom, this song right here was supposed to play. So the thing starts like, ow, I feel good. That's what it's supposed to start, okay? And the sound man totally butchered it. So we were all ready, all done. We turn, and no song. And we just had to exit without this song. So this song's a little sad for me because I know where it was supposed to be, and it didn't happen. So that's okay. We still got married. Everything's good. I think the play on words here, JB, the first guy to suggest this is a Apush teacher named Johnny Burkowski. Really, really good, really, really active in the group and leads a lot of discussion. So I think he didn't make this, someone else did, but in honor of him, I think they used his initials and went James Brown, because hopefully at the end of this, you guys are going to feel good about this DBQ. That's the goal. Here we go. So first things first, what is a 5 on this? So that you know, looking at the rubric, you could get a 5 on the DBQ by not even using a single document. You could look at the prompt, hit the other key points, never even read the documents, and possibly earn a 5. So hopefully that's encouraging to you, because I think what is overwhelming about the DBQ is to get those 5 documents. How am I going to incorporate every single one of them? How do I use them? And what we're going to show you today is you could only use 2 docs, and I'm going to move my picture up here, and still earn a 9, okay? A 9 out of 10, which would translate to a 5 on this Apush exam. So let me explain to you how you could do that. Hopefully that lightens the burden, because a lot of you guys said with the hot dog DBQ that was hard. It's hard to fit it in that time frame. And I think what takes up the most time is reading every doc, figuring out how to incorporate every doc. So that's why I think this is going to be helpful, why we're going to try it this week, see how you like it. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. First of all, introductory paragraph. You're going to get 2 points here, and you guys are good at this. You guys know how to do this, except with hot dogs sometimes. You contextualize the prompt, and then you write your thesis. So we always start our intro. We come in, we give a good 3, 4, 5 sentences on contextualization, going the period before the prompt, and writing those sentences basically based on what happened 40, 50 years prior to it. Your timeline would help with that. The documents, the framework guides, you go before, and you're like, okay, what contextualizes it from before? Boom, you got a point. That leads right into your thesis, which you guys are all very good at writing these theses. So no problem. You're going to start out, boom, 2 points, first paragraph, you're rolling. Next paragraph, or next slide. Next paragraph. There's basically a 3-paragraph essay is what we're putting together here to get 5 points. First body paragraph. So you got your intro done. What you're going to do in your next body paragraph. It's going to be a supporting paragraph that corroborates the thesis. Again, everything drives back to that thesis. That includes supporting outside evidence. So I want you to start right away by pulling in outside evidence. So you look at the prompt as you're preparing it. you want two sources of outside evidence, you're going to have this first body paragraph start with outside evidence. So you're going to do that. That's going to earn you a point. Again, we're looking 2 to 3 to 4 sentences on this. So you're going to have outside evidence, how it relates to your thesis, directly related to your thesis, not anywhere in the documents. Boom, you're up to 3 points. Then you're going to use one of the documents. So you went through and you found one document that related very easily to your thesis. You're going to use that here to support the argument. Now, again, remember, you're getting a point when you describe two documents, and you get a point when you use two documents to support your thesis. So pretty much as long as you're using it to support your thesis, you are describing it. So by using one document here that supports the argument, you're halfway to 2 points. Okay, because once you get a second one in there, you've now earned 2 points. It's a little strange because if you only do one of these, you don't get any points. But if you do two, you're going to get 2 points. A little strange, that's how the rubric works. So outside evidence, then several sentences using a document that you feel relates to your thesis very well, and you're going to use that to support it, and then you're going to source that document. You're going to hippie that document. Historical context, point of view, purpose, intended audience, real clear, 2 to 3 sentences doing that, in which you're choosing one of these and using that for that document, and that will close your first body paragraph. So now you've got 2 points from the first paragraph, and you've got 2 points in this paragraph. You're up to 4 points, and you're halfway to 2 more points because you've used one document. Okay, so then we move on to our second body paragraph. So our third paragraph essay, not a conclusion. We're just doing that. Again, the conclusion doesn't really earn you any points. Oftentimes you can unicorn that. That's where you get the unicorn point. But how we're going to do it here, you're going to start off this third paragraph by countering or modifying or qualifying your thesis. This is the unicorn point. This is hard to get. But as we've looked at it and discussed it, if you jump into this third paragraph and you're like, okay, here's the opposite argument that I'm making, or here's a modification to my thesis, or here's something that qualifies it from another time period. Okay, you come into that third paragraph by doing that with your thesis. So clearly referencing your thesis and doing one of these, giving a counter argument or a modification to it or qualifying it, you've got a point. You've got the unicorn point. Again, it's hard to get, so know that, but still you follow this formula, you're getting between 8 or 9 points, which again is a 4 or 5 on this. All right, then you're going to come down, you're going to include supporting outside evidence. So this gets you another point. As you look at that prompt, as you go through the information, you're looking for outside evidence. Boom. Okay, now you're up to, I lost track of points, 7 points. Okay, is that right? 6 points. Okay. Using a second document that supports the argument and is consistent with the counter argument. So now you're going to pull out, and this is where the planning comes in. You've got your second document, and you want to, again, by using this is going to get you the other, the rest of the way to that 2 points, because you're going to explain the document. You're going to use it to support your thesis. And in this case, also kind of supports the counter argument. So in terms of bringing it in to show the complexity of your thesis to get that unicorn point, it's going to come in here. If you can't do that, just bring it in a form that supports your thesis again. And then you're going to source that document to get the second point for your hippie. Okay, so this third paragraph opens up countering or modifying or qualifying your thesis. Again, if you can't do that, that's very hard to get anyway. Drop it and move on, because then you'll be aiming for 8 points. Okay, include supporting outside evidence, 1 point. So you're right there. Second document, so you're getting the rest of that 2 points, and then you're going to source that document. So by doing this, okay, you will have, with me down there, a maximum of 9 out of 10 points on this, because you only get 1 more point by using 2 more documents. So in terms of time and maximizing your time, leaving off of that, because that's a lot of time to read the documents, figure out how you're going to use it, and then explain it and use it for your thesis. That's really, that takes a lot of time. So what I want us to do is to focus on this, because I think this is the best way to maximize your time in a very limited amount of time. So if you got this far, you could always then go back and be like, oh, I still have 5 or 10 minutes. Let me get a third document in here just to make sure. Let me try to get that fourth document in just to make sure. But this is the best way to maximize your time and get in there and use the documents. Okay, so you're gonna watch this, and then I've got that DBQ for you to do. So get over there and do that, and put this into play here, and try to do this. I wanted these outlined, this format outlined in the essay you're gonna write. Okay, so there you go, guys. I hope you liked it. Hope it gives you a little bit of hope of I can do that. I can grab 2 documents. I can make the thesis contextualization. I can hippie those. Okay, you guys can all do this. So very, very encouraging that you can accomplish this in the time period presented. Okay, thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon.